Hi everyone, John at Petty's, back again with the second in a series of 3 videos that we're putting together to help you prepare your home for going onto the market. In this video we're going to cover all of the works that we think that you should do prior to putting your house onto the market. For me it's really simple. You only do the works that I see or we see as essential. In the previous video we spoke about you looking at your home in the eyes of a viewer. Now if you look at the property from the eyes of a surveyor, it's going to give you a much better feel of where you should get the property to prior to it going onto the market. Ideally you would have a friend who is a builder or who is in the property industry and can advise as to what are essential. Look at the very top. Look at the chimney, look at the flashing around the chimney, look at the roof, look at the windows. Are the windows decorated? How is that looking? Is that going to be anything that potentially a surveyor is going to flag when it comes to him coming around to look at your house? Buyers are very astute as well. So it's really important that you look at your house differently. Go to the end of your garden, look back up the garden. What are people going to see? What is a surveyor going to see? So if we were to look at the most common areas where I feel you can make a difference and quite easily to the way buyers will look at your property and the way surveyors will certainly will. I'm always looking at ceilings. If there is some staining on a ceiling, it's meant that there's been a leak from above. And on the ground floor, yeah, it's critical. It's probably come from a leaking shower. Most people say, yeah, but I've got that work done. It needed new sealant. That's fine. There's no problem with that. Yeah, that is a problem if a surveyor sees it because he's going to flag that. A buyer's going to think there's a problem. So there's products that you can get. Just make that stain go away. It's even more important on the first floor in bedrooms because it could show a sign to a surveyor that there's a problem with the roof. There isn't, you know that. Your guttering might have been blocked, you've had a slip tile, whatever it is. But if you've got some staining, then get that decorated, get it all looking so it's in pristine condition, and then that's one less thing for your surveyor to write down. They always like to find things to write down. It's what they're paid for, it's what they're there to do. So think about that. Think about them having to fill up their pad and justify their £1,000 fee. And if you've got little bits and pieces that you know aren't a problem, they're going to make more of a deal of it. So have that in mind when you're having a good look round. Another area that we need to talk about, which is similar but not the same, is condensation. Now in modern times we have nice double glazed windows. What happens is you get little cold areas in your house where you're going to see some condensation mould. It's not damp, and it's clear that in your mind it's not damp, but buyers might not see it like that. And certainly surveyors, again, it gives them something else to write down. You'll find areas that you might not have looked at. So inside, if you've got a fitted wardrobe that leads straight onto the wall, you might find an area there where there's trapped air and that's going to condensate and create mould. Have a very, very good look round. There's some great cleaning products that you can get that have bleach in them, and that that will just wipe off. It's something that we come up against all the time. Some houses are better ventilated than others, and it's just one of those things. But damp is like waving a red flag to a bull with a surveyor. So we want to take away any area of potential concern when it comes to surveyor and damp. The next area I want to talk about is a little bit more difficult to define, but it's making sure that people have a feeling that your house has been cared and loved for, and that all those little jobs, and you know the ones that we mean, that there's a kitchen unit where the door's not working properly, or there's little bits and pieces with a plug socket that's slightly hanging out. All those little jobs, build up a picture in someone's mind about how much care and the attention to detail that you've had whilst you've been living in the property. So what we're trying to do is stop people having to feel like they're going to look more closely at your house, because their overall impression is that it's been cared for, loved, well maintained, looked after. Two houses next to each other, the one that's been looked after and the one that feels a little bit shoddy and slightly run down, the house in good order will sell 10 times faster than the one next door. People don't want to buy a headache. They're paranoid about a money pit. So get all those little pieces done. If you've got a communal area that is slightly shoddy or is due to have some work done, think to yourself about making a personal investment and just tidying up the area, because people, again, first impressions, but that little bit of work, if it costs you a few £100s, can reap the benefit of people that are buying into a communal situation. It's really important that they have that first impression, that they open it up, that they're not walking in and potentially buying into a long-term problem. So one other thing you should seriously consider, and that people are very keen to see, are things like your electrical report and a gas report, or at least a gas service record. If you've got an old-fashioned electrical consumer unit, or fuse box as it used to be called, it's going to be flagged. It's going to come up. Buyers like to see, even any viewers, especially if they've got their dad with them, he'll want to see the boiler, he'll want to see the fuse box. So think about getting an electrical test done, and then carry out the works that are recommended, and get your gas boiler checked, get it serviced, and have a record available for us down the line when we'll be doing the viewings. And it's the same with your electrical certificate. It's just one more box ticked and one less thing that can come up down the line and be pulled up on from the surveyor. In summary, we only look at the essential repairs. We're just going to get your house ready so that buyers and surveyors are looking at it in the most favourable light. What we would never recommend is that you make any major investment into the house. There's no major expenditure. So no kitchens, no bathrooms, no major expense. The worst thing that you can do is to come back to your house once you've moved out, and 2 weeks later your brand new fitted kitchen is in a skip on the driveway. The most important thing is that the house looks like it's been cared for and looked after. If you have any queries, or if you would like to discuss anything that you want some expert opinion on, then please send us a video, send us some photos, ask us the questions, because it's important that you get this right and you make that investment in the right areas. So this is the second of 3 videos. We're going through the process. The next video is how to prepare your house for viewings. So we've gone through all this process, and then the next part is when people are actually going to come through your door. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.